peace, restore our glory to live forever. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime, I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer.
Ejo, no čaute, tu som ja zase Epic Lizard, ale dneska tu máme livestream a v tomto livestreame budeme hrať nejakú hororovú hru. Áno, ktorá sa volá Slay the Princess a už aj podľa názvu tohoto livestreamu už viete, že tá hororová hra bude akože logickým spôsobom, že tá hororová hra, že vám doslova uvarí váš mozog. Čo s tým ja myslím? Tak napríklad, že viacero trikov obsahuje tá hra, no. Aj viacero koncov. Takže... kde je to? A tu máme. No. Počkajte, musím to nejako nastaviť. A vidíte, no, tak môj počítač by to nemal zvládnuť podľa toho, čo sa tu píše, takže... takže to je indie hororová hra, ak neviete. Black Tab... čo je, no? Options, to sú text speech, music volume, sound volume, no. Volume, no. Tak máme to vypnuté, lebo ako to bude vyzerať s animáciou? No, takto bude počítač, to určite zvládne. Off. Tak nejako takto by sme to mohli nastaviť, no. Takže ideme hrať. Ináč to nie je prvý raz, čo ja tú hru hrám.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Wow.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
No, tak máme tu viacero možností. Have you Tak tento livestream bude podľa mňa docela nudný, lebo ja doslova hrám indie hororovú hru, no. A to je veľa textu, ľudia, no. The end of the world? What were you talking about? What are you talking about? No?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
No.
You have to put an end to her.
Aha, tak dobre. Ako môže ukončiť?
Linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Aha, dobre. A inak, že ľudia, včera som bol akože takú menšiu nehodu, že ma auto zrazilo. Áno. Akože bol som v nemocnici a zistil sa, že nakoniec, že akože až tak zle som nedopadol. Tak áno, akože troška ma aj bolí krk takýmto spôsobom, že keď ja ležím na chrbte, tak doslova ja neviem stať. A tak kvôli tomu furt, keď ja stávam z postele, tak ja som sa musel najprv otočiť na bok, až potom stať. Nemohol som akože takto akože na chrbát sa otočiť a potom si sadnúť. Nie, ja som sa musel iným spôsobom. A dokonca aj troška ma aj bolí v krížoch, odkedy keď to bola tá zrážka, no. A ináč nie som až tak veľmi rozdrtený po tejto zrážke s autom, ale som šťastný, že som aj prežil, ináč. Že toto je teraz môj zdravotný stav, ľudia. Že psychicky som na tom bol tiež akože zle, keď mňa to auto zrazilo. No, čo by sme? No.
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
No, takže...
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave?
Dobre. Takže čo?
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole
To
situation.
znie ako nejaký iný koniec, no.
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin.
No divné.
How? That's great to hear. As long as you bring that fiery attitude to princess slaying, I think this will all resolve splendidly. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Aha, tak okej.
Fortunately, she's only a princess, whereas you are a valiant and talented warrior. It'll be easy, so long as you stay focused. We can't just go through with this and listen to him. She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore that
Tak to
annoying
samo
little
dôjde,
voice. He
ľudia.
doesn't know what he's talking. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Wow, jak sa to
The
krásne
air
sa
is
to tam
stale and
hýbe.
musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Dobre. Viete čo, prejsť toto si zoberiem
Take the
ten meč.
blade from the table. It'd be rather
Čiže toto
difficult
čepel.
to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Viete čo, tu by som si ja najradšej ja tu. Yes. Túto hru som už dávno hral, do prdele. Jaké konce tu boli? Ja si pamätám, že bol tu jeden dobrý koniec. No, seká sa mi to, no. Počítač to nezvláda do prdele.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated.
No nie
by
ten
an
koniec som
unseen
spravil z
light
tejto
in the
hry.
room below.
Ale ja si pamätám, že videl som
This
viacero videí
is
z
an
toho a
oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood.
jak krásne to tam vyzerá,
The
jak krásne
princess
sa to
really
to tam
lives
hýbe.
here. Slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Do prdele môj headset,
Her voice
nefunkčný.
carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
No to si pamätám už.
Almost as though she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Dobre.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
Akože ja vám ukážem ten dobrý koniec, actually, v tej hre.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Ja verím tomuto rozprávačovi,
Focus on the task at hand.
ale ja neviem. Odpája sa mi všetko. Ale ja neviem, či rozprávač to má pravdu. My sme sa ho spýtali, že prečo by sme ho mali zavražiť a on akože povedal, že to je naša úlohou.
Are you here to kill me or something?
Áno, ideme ťa zavražiť, ja ti vôbec neverím, ty.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
A pozrite sa, jak je urazená, pozrite sa.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
Áno, vieme ťa
I'm
zavražiť.
probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the
Čakaj, čo môžeš za krv urobiť?
Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Prdlajs, môj nefunkčný headset. Slay the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Nenávidím feministky.
Oh. This is it, isn't it?
Áno,
I'm almost
skapala si to
embarrassed.
rána.
I should have seen that coming, but I have to wonder. Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Yes.
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. Yes, even as
Konečne
she lays
skapala
there
do
dying,
rána. No.
she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over? Yes, exactly. It's over.
Áno, že koniec.
With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved
Dobrý.
from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all.
What
Where
the
a lush
fuck?
forest stood mere minutes ago,
Aha, no to
the
si
only thing in
pamätám.
front of you now is the vast emptiness of space. What
Tak to na mňa vyšlo.
happened?
Tak zmizlo
Everyone's
to všetko,
fine.
nevidíš.
It's
Backrooms.
just that
To je
you
backrooms.
and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good. Everyone is happy. You'll be happy.
Okay.
So glad you're keeping an open mind. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Dobre. Aj keď tak neviem.
Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. I've never been happier. Psst. Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right? Are we really happy? Or is he just telling us that we are? Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
Jej. Zázrak. Ešte... What? Continue. No. To ešte nie je všetko, tá hra má viacero ukončení, ľudia.
You're on a path. You're here to slay her.
Dobre, ideme urobiť aký jeden. Ale čo ak?
Seriously? You're just... suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to
Chcem ja
do
niečo
here is
skúsiť,
wrong.
ľudia.
Better ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like,
Dobre.
dies. Forever.
Musíš ešte aj plakať.
Your silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess. There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Si si istý, nie je to... Si si istý, že to aj niekto iný žije v tom svete?
And here we go.
Čo to
As you trudge
kurva
into
je?
the woods, something strange starts to happen.
What the hell?
At
To
first,
ten dom.
it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes.
Keby toto by videla moja
Glimpses
učiteľka
of
fyziky, tak by určite
familiar
by
woodland
skolabovala
structures through the
actually.
leaves. But as you
No,
focus
tak
on your
áno.
surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't
Keby
just
toto by
a
videla
trick
nejaká
of
učiteľka
light.
fyziky alebo učiteľ fyziky, tak by určite by z toho by skolaboval actually. No,
In every
Wow.
direction, there is a path.
radšej to nebudem opakovať.
And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying
Ajajaj,
to draw
hra sa
you
zabugovala.
where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? You're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
Počkaj, zomreme?
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. It's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world
No.
ends and everyone dies.
Wow. The stranger. Neznámy. Alebo cudzinec.
You're on a path
To je
in the
creepy,
woods,
sakra.
and at the end of that
A
path
to
is a cabin.
čo je za stenu?
And
Kde
in the
sme? V
basement of
Mexiku?
that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't,
What the heck?
it will be the end of the world.
Prečo je tu stena sme teda delí Mexiko a... Čo tu robí táto stena, ktorá delí Mexiko a Ameriku?
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us has been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, screw this guy. They might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. Still, the world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. You are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead. Such magnificent gusto. We'll all be in the clear in no time. I have
O čom som
one last
rozprával?
warning for you. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore them, they're just being difficult for the sake of it.
No tak to je len jedna možnosť do prdele.
The interior
Viete čo,
of the
zoberiem
cabin
to
is
čepel,
odd.
zase si
The
zoberiem
air
to čepel
smelling
pre
faintly
istotu.
of plastic. The wood of the walls fitting together at uncomfortable angles. The only furniture is a plain wooden table, its legs all the wrong lengths, causing it to tilt towards the door.
What?
Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust. Or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyways? I for one would rather have it. We don't really know what we're dealing with here. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward
Wow.
premise?
Zoberiem si to čepel.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Prečo mám sa takto nepríjemný pocit tohoto
Revealing
hučania,
an
čo mám
old wooden
v
staircase.
ušiach?
The step her voice carries up the stairs,
Aye.
its multi-tonal lilt adding to the already uneasy atmosphere.
Čo to kurva je za hlas?
This isn't what I expected her to sound like. What is she? I think we'd all like to know.
Do prdele.
Carefully make your way down the stairs.
Ja z toho mám nepríjemný pocit.
As you
Ty
descend the
pi-
final step,
čo je
the
to
form
s
of the
ňou?
princess comes into view.
Do prdele. Do prdele, nemám.
She locks eyes with you.
Oh!
One moving a little
Fú,
faster than
nie,
the other.
nie,
The
nie,
loose skin of her
nie.
face stretches into something resembling a
Dobre, že
smile.
nemám túto... Dobre, že nemám facecam, lebo potom by ste videli, že jak v zlom stave som ja teraz, no. Ne, nie.
Good lord.
Do prdele, tu treba ju ešte raz zavraždiť. Do
Something in her
prdele,
neck bulges,
to je tak
boiling
nechutné.
under her skin as she
Sakra,
starts
to
to
je tak
speak, her
nechutné.
voice pouring out
Fuj.
between her closed
Do
teeth.
prdele, to je tak... Akože, nie je to strašidelné, ale fuj, to je nechutné.
Don't be a stranger.
Fuj, to je tak
It's
nechutné.
been so long
Oh,
since I had
dobre, že som sa nepogrcal. Fuj, to je tak nechutné. Viete čo? Pokračovanie na budúce? No. Continue. Start ešte raz.
You're on a path. You're here.
Ideme, preskočíme niečo.
You make your way. A warning. She will love. We're not going to go through. Ignore him.
Ideme do kabínky. Tak môj počítač to vôbec nezvláda. Radšej som to preskočil tú animáciu.
The interior of the cabin is almost. The blade is your. You take the
Zoberieme
blade
tú
from the
čepel.
table. It'd be rather difficult to.
Robím nejakú múdru vec. Jas. Dobre. Return. Dobre. Toto bude multiple. Všelijaký koniec tu môže byť.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
It's commanding. Almost as though she's the one in charge down here.
Tak áno.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Tak čo keby sme sa mi snažili akože
Good.
s ňou sa len skamarátiť? Že nebudeme sa ju snažiť zavraždiť. Prečo mám tu...
Walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
Kurva, jesne.
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her.
Dobra.
She's so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
Are you here to kill me or something?
No. Viete čo je to? OK.
Maybe because of the giant knife you're holding?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should... Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just... talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade
Jak
on
si
the floor.
zdýchol?
You're going to...
Aha, áno, to je to napísané.
So, this is a pretty awkward start to a relationship.
Je to tá hororová hra. Skôr to vyzerá ako nechutná hra, actually. No. Tak čo?
Not to make things even more awkward, but do you know why you're here to kill me?
Believe me.
Ojojoj, jak je urazený.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend that's going to happen. As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here. That's just the dynamic of our situation.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here. And if there isn't,
Čo?
well, we can always put that knife to good use.
What?
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it. She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail.
Jaká je namyslená tá kunda,
Can't
no.
trust her.
Too long.
Veľmi dlho, no. Krátka odpoveď.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her. Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
Just how long has she been down here?
Did they even bother to tell you how I'm supposed to end the world? Because that just doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd be capable of.
Tak čo, sakra, mám vybrať, no?
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think what I do really matters. Look, at the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
No,
It
hej.
doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or any other number of good things that I'm sure you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So, do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk.
No,
We stand
jakie to zvýraznené.
everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
No.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large
Ona
and
určite
heavy,
klame.
far too
Lenže
solid
neviem,
for
že
you to
prečo jej teraz
imagine
idem
them
pomáhať,
trying
hej,
to
lebo
pull them apart.
aby som potom ukol viacero konci z tejto hry. Neviem ani rozprávať už o
If you
tejto
don't have the
zrážke s
key,
autom. No,
maybe you should go looking for it.
práve.
I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the
Nemám
princess
takto
away
pocit,
down
alebo že
here
fakt
intended
potom,
for her to never
čo mňa
see
zarazilo
the
to auto,
day.
tak aj
They
blbo
wanted
aj
to slap the
rozprávam,
key to
no.
her
Blbo aj
chains somewhere in the
artikulujem.
camp.
I'll be here.
Dobre.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding
Kto
into
to kurwa
place.
bol?
Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess and cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp and you make quick work of it. Before long you're able to crack the bone.
Fuj!
She pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. The princess clutches the
Fuj.
wound, her
No.
fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No. As the princess approaches
Čo
the
to je s
bottom
mojou
stair,
rukou?
your body steps
He-
forward and raises the blade.
Čo som, sakra, havran?
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Ty čo je? Kámo? No.
Stop that.
Oh. I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess dodges?
Do. Mal som to ešte raz.
Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Viete čo?
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She knocks your legs out from under you with a swift kick. You didn't even see it coming. You fall to the ground, the wind leaving your lungs all at once in a violent puff, and her knee settles on your throat. You try to gasp for air, but she pushes on your windpipe with weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. You won't draw another breath. When she manages to escape from this place and brings ruin to the world, know that it was all your fault.
No
It
ďakujem.
can't just end like this, right?
Tak bohužiaľ sa
Much
to
as
tak
I'd
skončí.
prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happening. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Dobre, takže...
A terrible sense of if he doesn't remember what happened. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. We can help her. Just have to find a way. Oh, is there another one of us in here? Help her? Need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago. Sure, and all of us in here definitely believe you. Just stay focused on the task at hand. I have one last warning. She will lie. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say the word wink out loud?
Nie.
No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Preskočím to radšej, lebo to môj počítač nezvládne tie
The
animácie.
interior of the cabin is almost entirely empty. The air stale and musty. The floor and walls covered in a fine layer of dust. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. Her voice carries softly up the stairs.
Prečo povedal, že softly?
Hello? Is someone there?
It's even more hypnotizing than before. Is it more hypnotizing than before, or is that just what we want it to be? I think we're in love.
What?
For everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just don't let her charm you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Dobre.
You walk down the
A kde
stairs
sa
and
to
lock
alebo
eyes with
troška
the
divne
princess.
vyzerá. By the way,
There's a
ona...
heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Mne sa to zdá, bo má troška väčšiu tú hlavu.
She's still so beautiful. She has both of her arms again. Did everything we just went through actually happen?
Nie,
It
to
must
je nejaké
have,
limbo
because
podľa mňa.
she's different. Can't you tell?
You. I remember you.
Prečo má...
You're going to help me get out of here.
Prečo vyzerá viac ako z anime? What the f... To be continue. Continue, no. Load. Preskočíme tú animáciu.
The door, her voice.
Who's there?
It's command. Don't let it.
Oh? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
Dobre, takže konečne nejaký iný dialog sme odomkli.
Walk down the stairs. She's so cold. Focus on the task at hand.
Dobre, ten istý dialog
Are
sa
you here
furt
to kill me or
opakuje.
something? Well, you shouldn't.
She's right. We should. We should just drop the blade. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she... The blade
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
against your better judgment. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her.
So, this is a pretty awkward start to a relationship.
No.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
What? Ale jakým spôsobom myslel do prdele?
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
Just how long has she been down here?
Did they even...
Princess, she doesn't know. She knows what she...
I don't think what I do really... Look, at the end of the day, whoever sent you to slay me, that doesn't sound right to me.
She has a point.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life, but you don't really know me,
She's right about one thing. Her word.
like I said. So, do you trust me?
She's wrong. This...
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Tak tuto je... Toto by som to aj najradšej už tu uložil, no.
Oh, you have to be kidding. You walk up there large and heavy. Far too...
Chcem ja
I'm
niečo...
guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful.
I'll be here.
You attempt to... Is someone else... You make your way back to the... Easier for who? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam, the knife.
You won't like...
Dobre, teraz by som to aj tu tiež uložil.
Without hesitation, you bring
Oh,
the blade
tu už je
down.
niečo iné.
The princess
Kámo.
flinches as you strike and your weapon sinks into her shoulder.
You bastard. If I
Oi,
have to
oi,
kill
oi.
you to leave this place, I'll do it.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see that razor sharpness in her gaze? I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us.
No,
It's an act. She's unarmed and there's nothing she can do to hurt
akože
you.
do zlého miesta ju stebnul ináč.
I'm not so sure.
Ale prečo sme ju stebli tuto na chrbát? Prečo sme ju stebli na chrbát a nie do srdca? Nechápem.
Don't waver now. As you raise your blade to strike again, she kicks out, knocking your legs out from under you. The two of you strike
Oha.
on the ground.
Bojová
Now
scénka.
forget trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
No tak jedna možnosť.
You roll out of her grasp and shakily push yourself back to your feet. Though every inch of you is in pain, the princess probably has it worse. Blood pours out from countless gashes, staining her once. We can still turn this around.
Tak uložil, no. Finish the job. Run for the stairs.
You steel
Finish
your
the job.
resolve and take another. Excuse me? What, do you think this is what I want? Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the
A mne to
princess
už
doesn't
nebaví.
do our
No,
friend in her
nečudujem sa, že
self,
prečo
eternal
to som len raz zahral. Bo to zlý nápad o tomu robiť livestream. Ináč, že ľudia, tento livestream je špeciálny livestream pre 20 odberateľov, no.
The two
Wow.
of you clash for the final time.
Konečne,
You feel
správne
your
sme ju
ribs break
stepli,
as she
ani
delivers
na
a heavy
chrbát do
blow.
prdele.
You push through the pain.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
Wow.
This was fun. You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
There is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. But you don't have the time to worry over her words. Everything goes black, and you die.
Wow.
You're here to slay her.
Dobre.
I have one last. She will lie. It's not her lies that'll stop us. I must admit, I'm a little worried about going back in there. Ignore them. They don't know what they're talking about. She's just a princess. Don't get all in your head about it.
Ja preskočím tú animáciu už radšej. Radšej už tú animáciu ja preskočím.
The interior, the blade is your.
Take the blade.
The door to the basement creaks. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Prečo má teraz takýto čarovný dialog?
Somehow even fiercer than it was before.
Of course it is. Don't let it intimidate you. You carefully make your way down the stairs.
What the
As you
fuck?
descend the final
Čo je
step,
to?
the form of the princess comes into
Čo to
view.
kurva je?
A large shackle leading from her wrist to the
What the
basement.
fuck? Čo je to s ňou do prdele?
Is she bigger than last time?
I told you. It's pointless.
Dobre, drž hubu.
I was
Do
wondering when
prdele.
I might have company. Free me from my bindings, and maybe I'll let you live for a while.
No. Tak to bol koniec. Load. Tu máme ďalšie finish.
The princess is still chained to the wall. There's nothing she. What if she doesn't succumb to her wounds? You rush up the stairs and dive past the threshold. You're safe. For now. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue.
What?
But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there.
Do prdela to má jaký
Make
hlas.
things easier on yourself and let me out.
Tak od tohoto búchania som sa už tlakol
It's
troška.
not like this little door will hold for very long anyways.
Ona ako sa...
Probably a good idea to try to get back on my
Ona ako sa dostala k
good
dverám.
side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare.
No, tak to je zlý sen,
As she
kámo.
violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget
To
what
prvé,
you
nechcem to
know, the
počúvať.
kind of
Nechcem ten jej hlas
Doesn't
počúvať.
sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't. Just ignore her. Maybe the banging and wailing will stop if you just don't. You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt
Do
awake in the middle of the
prdele.
night to
Ja z toho mám
silence in the
nepríjemný
cabin.
pocit.
The ruckus has stopped.
Počkaj,
The door
znútra
of
sa
the
otvárajú
basement
dvere.
is ajar.
What?
Its lock broken.
Tak jak ti to dokázal zablokovať?
Shoved out of the way.
Ne, ja mám z toho zlý pocit. Ja mám z toho úplne zlý pocit, ľudia.
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of
prdele.
that awful basement.
Si bože, ja som takýto sraľo, že ja od tejto hry sa doslova sa veď bojím.
You try and stumble. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet. And then whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you,
Do
can't
prdele.
I?
Do prdele, ja z toho nemám dobrý pocit vôbec.
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time,
Kurwa.
cocking her head in curiosity
To
as you
piče.
feel your organs shutting down one
Ty
by
pičo.
one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills.
Do prdele, ja som takýto
What a
sraľo.
shame. If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath,
Do
and your
prdele.
heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
Do prdele, nie. Viete čo, radšej to dám späť, lebo to už sa nedá ani sledovať. Jak to bolo? Ja už viem takto nejako.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends.
Tak áno.
I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The nightmare.
You're on a path. You're here to slay.
Okay.
I have one last warning. She will lie. Oh God, we can't go in there. Do either of you feel sick? Because I feel sick just thinking about that place. We're going to die.
Dobre,
You
to
should
bolo.
be careful. There's something very wrong going on here. Ignore them. They don't know what they're talking about. She's just a princess. No reason to get all freaked out.
Áno. Je to samotný žijúci diabol, actually.
The interior of the cabin is plain.
What the
smooth
fuck?
wood of the walls
To
almost
sa
featureless.
ešte neskončilo.
The only item of furniture is a lone
Prosím
table
vás.
knocked on its side in the corner.
Ne. Oh,
Pristine blade stands between you and the open,
ne,
inviting
to sa
basement
ešte
door.
neskončilo. Buď ticho, ty
The blade
rozprávaš.
is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Buď ticho, rozprávač.
No.
Nepomáhaš mi.
The basement door. It isn't there anymore. She could be
Prečo sú
anywhere.
tam samé oči? Do prdele.
It's just a frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. No, what did you do? This isn't how things are supposed to go. She's supposed to be an ordinary princess.
Tak ako mi tie oči, ktoré sú v okne, vysvetlíš?
Quick, the blade.
Go ahead and take
Do
your little...
prdele.
It won't do you any good.
Your legs go numb before you even have a chance to reach for the blade. You collapse to the floor as your lungs seize up, refusing to take in air. No, not again!
I
Do
didn't think you'd come back.
prdele.
We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I. I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you
Do
before you
prdele.
break.
Prosím vás, ukončite to. Ďakujem.
Everything goes dark, and you die. I'm sorry.
No, hrozne si mi pobohol. Do prdele. Konečne už to máme za sebou. Bohu. Ďakujem ti, Bože. No. Dobre, takže load. Chceme niečo skúsiť, takže give up.
As the force of her blows overwhelms your body, the princess, wounded but still alive, stands to face you. She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you to the ground.
Ow.
Her knee slides to your throat and your windpipe is crushed under weight you didn't think her frame could possibly possess.
Pathetic.
This is the end, isn't it? Everything goes black, and you die.
And you die. Zase ten istý koniec.
You're here.
Viete čo? Zase ten istý koniec. Main menu. Zase ten istý koniec je tu.
Door to the base. Her voice.
Who's there?
It's command, don't it? Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the street so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
Are you here to kill me or something?
Yes.
You step forward.
Oh? No talking room? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop.
Do you hear the She's unarmed.
Dobre, no... Save the princess.
You lunge forward without a moment. You feel flesh eat.
This is it. I'm on. Do you?
There it is again. But it's over. But is it over? It's over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. Why do I feel like we've done something terrible? You did kill someone, but that day isn't today. You open the cab. Only... What? Everyone is What's done is done. And there's no going back now. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Naozaj. Nehovor.
Time passes. You can't... I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end. Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare. Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? You ingrate? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die.
Spáchame seppuku.
The end. Nice knowing you.
Jak je urazený? Spektrum. What?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you. I have one last warning. She will lie. You're right. She won't be a problem. I'm not sure I'm a fan of my new roommate. I think that the situation couldn't be more straightforward. Just ignore him. The interior of the cabin is cold. A soft odor of dirt permeating the air.
Čo to sakra je?
Cobwebs flutter
What?
in the corners.
What
You
the
can hear
hell?
wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only item of... Before you have a chance to even think about taking it, the top of a head appears from underneath the floorboards. Two deep-set eyes stare up at you,
Prečo?
followed
What
by a
the
mischievous skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here?
A ghost!
Oh, wow. How absolutely terrifying. What's a ghost supposed to do to us?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, killer. I guess we've got some things to talk about, haven't we? Like how you murdered me?
Wow. Wow. Tak toto boli asi všetky konce? Ha? Ha? Toto boli všetky konce. Vážne. Jak trapné. Tak. Takže ľudia, myslím si, že to bolo všetko z tohoto videa. Ak sa vám to video páči, nie z videa, ale tak myslím si, že to bolo všetko z toho livestreamu. Ak sa vám ten livestream páčil, nezabudnite dať like, odber a zvonček, aby ste nevymeškali žiadne videá alebo takýto livestream ako tento tu. A ešte raz vám ďakujem za 20 odberateľov a uvidíme sa pri ďalšom videjku, ktorý by mal ešte tento týždeň výjsť a najbližšie špeciálne video bude asi pre 40 odberateľov. Takže ďakujem vám za 20 odberateľov, takže čaute.